Kristen Kreuk was not on all the seasons of Smallville, and we're about to find out why, guys.
Kristen, how are you?
Hi.
Thank you for doing this, especially on short notice.
Last minute.
This all came together yesterday.
Yeah,
well, we're
thanks.
family.
Yeah. I haven't seen the episode, so there's that.
According to Michael, don't bother.
And apparently it's a big episode.
I'm pretty sure.
Do y'all remember this episode, guys? Do y'all remember this one right here? I thought it was so freaking cheesy. It was a weird one. It was very strange. And the entire episode is like, you're really not sure if it happened or not by the time the end of it comes, because it was something Chloe was writing about.
Because she can't find a place to stay at school, Lana Lang tries to join a sorority.
Yes.
And turns out they're vampires, and she gets bitten. And she basically gets red kryptonited. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, basically.
It's like this. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same thing.
Just wear some tight clothes and be, I don't know, vampy.
There you go.
You know what's
Well,
fun?
thanks for being here.
Vampy.
That was great.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Yes, you're welcome.
I mean, do you remember reading this episode, and what were your initial thoughts? I mean, because you probably remember an episode like this, you got to remember going, oh shit.
Oh, I think I was angry with this one. I think at this point I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
So this episode was like the thing that put in her brain the seed that where she was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing Smallville, because she did not do a lot of Smallville after this. This was, the beginning of the end. What I want to know is, though, why? Why did that make you? I mean, it was a cheesy episode, but what about that cheesy episode made you say, I'm not doing it anymore?
I don't want to do this anymore. This is not, it's so objectifying. There's no point to it.
Objectifying,
except
okay.
for to, give me excuse to wear like a super tight outfit. And
now, did you guys notice that whenever in the early days she was supposed to do something sexy, they would use a body double, like whenever she jumped in the pool or whenever she took a shower or whenever other stuff happened? I can't think right now, but put it in the comments, you know what I'm talking about. And then when Erica Durance came along, she did whatever they asked her to do. I don't think Erica Durance ever had a body double. She did. And it was very obvious sometimes. Sometimes it was like, yeah, that's not her. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think at this point I had become quite frustrated with this trope of ours. And I wasn't easy on this episode. I think I made it really difficult for people.
Well, yeah, I think one of your, I think what I saw it's
It's big to admit that, but it's probably because they were making it difficult for her.
easiest reactions and most honest reactions I've ever seen you play is when the sorority girls they kick out the other two girls and they go, Lana, you made it in. And you're like, me?
Get me out of here.
I don't want to be here at all. Like, that was very timely.
And she didn't seem like the type that fit with them. They were all, like girly types and stuff. And the, the sorority types where they all hate each other and they're mean to each other, but they're friends. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's not Lana like at all. Even in the early seasons when she was like far removed from Clark, it wasn't because she was a jerk. She was actually quite nice. And she ended up not even being in Cheer later. She didn't even fit into that universe.
That reaction,
you know
I don't
what,
want to
though?
be here.
The thing that's most frustrating to me is, besides Kristen having to do this, is for her character would never do this. Her character would never join the sorority. And it's so
Smallville did that a lot. In the later seasons, they really they loved sexy and they loved horror. And those two things, they were like, I want to do this before I say I want to write a story about, Superman as a kid. Like they were like, that's what was their driving thing was. It's like, well, I'm on a Superman show, but I really wanted to write about horror. Or I'm on a Superman show, but I really wanted to do comedy movies with a lot of skin, like.
makes not only no sense for Kristen, but like her character.
Yes.
It's like, what am I doing here?
I think that's why it started to get frustrating, is that there was never even a good excuse for it anymore. It was just, we're just going to do this now because we want to have an episode of filler. And
see, guys, this was late. I can't remember. This might have been like season 6 or 7 or 5 or probably 5. They knew at that point. They'd already knew she was the kind of actress that if they did a certain scene, like she was taking a shower, they didn't even ask her anymore. They already just went ahead and got a body double because they knew she wasn't like that. And they designed a whole episode around this woman who's pretty modest in that sense and was like, we're going to have her do this and this and this and this. And it's like, that's not even... You basically wrote an episode about Lana that wasn't Lana at all. And if this episode's one of your favorites, put it in the comments too. But I always thought it was really weird and cheesy.
Fun. And it's going to make no sense.
Yeah.
You're just going to do it. And
our producer Bryce mentioned that he did some deep diving, and it seems like it was going for a Halloween episode, which in the past we've seen as well.
I think there's a Halloween party in there too, where Clark wears a like Zorro type outfit. Carlos.
But this was a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, you committed, you gave it your all, and it was like there's nothing else you could have done.
No.
But it was definitely
she did a great job.
Oh my God, what are we doing?
We're not doing
I mean,
Lana
there were
on
funny
Smallville.
moments because those vampire teeth really make you lisp. So all of the lines are like, so I don't know who.
That was really clear too. Like I could tell during that episode, I was like, her teeth are too much for her mouth.
I was coming after, but I was lisping the whole time. But you're supposed to be scary and threatening, but no.
Would you stop?
By the way, guys, if you guys want me to interview any one of these guys, go hit up their Instagrams, whatever. Go let them know. Be like, hey, be on Kryptonite Korner. I want you to get interviewed by that guy.
In the middle of it and just laugh when you were lisping?
Yes.
Did they have you ADR and redo the dialogue?
Oh, I'm sure I did. Yeah, I don't remember doing it, but I know that
She has hands as earrings.
was lisping. There was no way I couldn't. I kept having the teeth in the way of my tongue.
I think I want to suck your blood.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Now we know why he talks that way.
And by the way, I talked to Tom and Ryan about this before we even
You know, it's kind of funny. Look, Tom and Kristen both watch her when she laughs. She has vampire teeth already.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can see it.
And by the way,
see, she already has vampire teeth. I kind of do too. But I remember that from the show. Hers and Tom's both. They both have prominent canines. I always noticed that when I was young because I had them too.
I talked to Tom.
I was in high school when that show was on.
And Ryan about this before we even got on the air. But talk about gratuitous. In the jacuzzi scene in the beginning, it's like we actually see.
That was really uncomfortable and weird. Like, it's a family show, basically, where you're watching with your family, and all of a sudden, you basically have these vampire ladies go down on a guy, and you don't know what's going on, but it's weird, and it was very uncomfortable. To this day, when I watched it, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but this is not a CW show, and maybe it is now. But.
We assume that these girls are giving this young guy.
They definitely bite him in the knee or the toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But you're like, are they really showing this on Smallville? Are they really insinuating that?
God, that's exactly what I'm saying. It was so strange.
It was one of those episodes where you're like, what? Where are we?
Well,
we're in college now.
Ryan, you brought it up.
It
It was
is.
just so.
They got to college and they changed the tune of the show. It was like, wait, but I was watching this with my little brother. You know,
Out of format. You used a better word. Just. They Chloe's like Carrie Bradshaw. All of a sudden.
Was Sex in the City.
Yeah.
I never watched that,
with
but
vampires.
that seems right.
And also Buffy?
I guess. But also,
there's a lot of Buffy references in it.
But Ryan also said, Kristen, that maybe none of it was real and it was all Chloe's writing and her imagination.
Yeah,
and
it
her,
kind of seemed that way.
For the paper, for the Daily.
It was like they left it open-ended where you really didn't know if this was coming from Chloe or if this was something that, because how does Chloe know any of this? Like Kristen would have to tell her, but it was a weird episode, guys. It was just Twilight Zone weird.
Planet.
I mean, that would be interesting, but they didn't. Did they imply that?
I wanted to think that, but Chloe actually says to Carrie Fisher's character, "This really happened."
Yeah,
they're not vampires. It was that they were taken over by this, LexCorp disease.
Right.
So
yeah.
Then that kind of, because I was like, maybe this is just a figment of Chloe's imagination, and she's writing fodder to get a job. But
yeah, did you get to meet Carrie Fisher, by the way?
No, I never met any of any of our really, really big guest stars. Really, I never met any of them.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So all you remember is you didn't
Yeah.
like this
Yeah, that
episode.
sucks.
You fought
it
tooth
was
and
more,
nail.
I think I fought.
The
I
beginning of
fought
the end,
to
guys.
change this episode, which
She
didn't really
fought
get
to
me
change
very
it.
far. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tough one for me. And maybe it wasn't just this episode though. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back in a way.
Okay, so that makes sense. So that episode wasn't what technically she didn't leave after that episode. You know, she was probably contracted for the rest of the season or whatever. But that was when she started thinking to herself, I'm not going to do this show anymore, you know, and that makes sense because it wasn't up her alley. It was not her at all. And it was when Erica Durance at that point was already doing things that they couldn't get her to do. And I'm saying this just from what I saw on the show. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like when Erica Durance came, she would do stuff that they wouldn't, you know, do. Anyways, check out my Amazon store, guys. Check out one of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.